Hey everyone, BVV here with option number 2 out of the 3 bikes I'm considering. This one, the 2016 Honda CB500F. Now this bike is absolutely beautiful. The styling on this bike is gorgeous, and Honda did a fantastic job with the attention to detail on this bike. This bike out of the 3 I'm considering is the cheapest one, coming in at just around $6,000, and for $6,000 you get a lot of upgraded features that you normally don't get at that price point. You get the LED headlight on this bike, which is something that even some of the more expensive bikes to this date don't have. You get the fully adjustable front suspension, which is also something in this price point that's really hard to come by. Two things right there that make this bike, fantastic bang for the buck. You have the optional ABS on this bike. If my memory serves me correctly, it's about $6,200 for ABS model, $5,900 without. That is something you should probably opt for another couple $100. Might as well get the ABS model. Obviously, a little bit safer riding. Adjustable brake lever on this, right? Stock. And you have the LED taillight on this one also, which is a great added feature to the bike. With the LED headlight, LED taillight, optional ABS and fully adjustable front forks, this is definitely a good bang for your buck bike. The styling on this, like I said, is top notch. It looks absolutely beautiful in person. Obviously, with all of that at that price point, there's got to be some cons. It can't be the perfect bike, at that price point. That's going to be missing things. So what do we have that we're lacking? Well, for one, 500cc engine. This bike, compared to the other ones I'm looking at, it's out of its class compared to the other bikes, especially the FC09 and then the next one that will be in the next video. It just can't. The horsepower, the torque is definitely not there with this bike. The advantage to that, you get the better MPG, 70 plus miles to the gallon, but you take this thing on the freeway and it's going to be screaming. It can do obviously freeway speeds, no problem at all, but your MPGs are going to tank because it won't be able to, it'll be revving pretty high at the high freeway speeds. So that's one negative to this, is the smaller engine. If that's something that's important to, it definitely can't compete to the bikes that are kind of not really in its class. I wouldn't even put it in the same class as those other bikes, but unfortunately Honda has this in the naked, and then they jump up to the CB1000, which is in desperate need of a makeover. So they don't really have anything in that, in that upper middle range that everybody's real excited about right now. And then another negative to it is at least in my opinion, is the instrument cluster. The instrument cluster on most of the Hondas is kind of universal now, from the Grom to the CBR500, CB300, CBR300. All of these bikes have this universal display. And I mean, it provides what information is needed. You have a fuel gauge, you have your tach, you have your speedometer, you have everything on their digital. Aside from that, there's not much else. Gas, tach, speedometer. I mean, it does its job, but with what's going on nowadays in this bike class, there's so much more that can be shown on there. Gear indicators, which I mean are not required but are nice to have. And then it doesn't have any sort of electronic rider aids, which I'm not a fan of one way, or I'm not positive or negative on that. I mean, I don't have an issue one way or another. I don't need them. Would they come in handy? Sure, but I don't need them, so that's not really a negative. And one other negative, as you can see, there's only one disc up front on the brakes, and that's fine for this class of bike for the 500cc. The only issue is from what I understand, is it's a pretty squishy brake. It's not very powerful. It doesn't have good stopping power. A bike at this class doesn't necessarily need that, but I mean, nobody's ever going to complain about stopping power. That's definitely something that we like. So those are about the only cons to this bike. Engine size, braking, two things, but at the price point, you just can't beat it. I mean, this bike is way cheaper than any of the others. Also, insurance, next to none compared to the FC09. The insurance is dirt cheap on this bike. So, everyone out there, tell me what you think on this. I know this bike doesn't really compare to the one that you just saw in the previous video and the one you're going to see in the next, but I had to throw this in there because honestly, everyone, I absolutely love the way this bike looks, and I just want to kind of get your guys' feedback on that. So tell me what you think. Should this even be considered, or should I just throw it out right now? Thanks for watching. This is BWV signing out.